Alright guys, so I just converted my Ford F-150 Lightning reservation to an order, and it was interesting, so let's talk about it. Hey, how's it going guys? Hope you guys are having a fantastic day. So we're gonna talk about a couple things, because as I was driving back home, I realized I made one big mistake on ordering this truck. So I'm gonna talk about that, and I'm also gonna talk about what to expect when you get that email from Ford saying you can basically convert your reservation to an order. And just to give you guys a little bit of context, I live close to Washington DC. I'm like maybe 25 minutes out from the Washington DC city area, so it's pretty congested around here. So I purposely chose a dealership that's about 45 minutes out all the way north and out in the boondocks almost. So, you know, I have a little bit better chance, and this dealership is telling me that they have 150 F-150 Lightning reservations. But the good news is that they did say that I was not the first one to be invited to order, but I was the first one to actually put in the order, so that's good. So I'm gonna briefly go over like all the timeline of everything happening all the way from like basically May 19th. That's when Ford actually had that live stream where they announced the F-150 Lightning, and I saw it and I was like, dang, I want that truck. So I did put in my $100 right away. So at 9:56 p.m., that's the timestamp I have in the email, and the live stream started at 9:30, right? So I put in my reservation at that time. I got an email from the dealership that I chose the next day at 8:30 a.m. and basically they said, hey, here's a contact person. I can basically contact this person anytime I want. So I got their full contact info that next morning, and I didn't actually contact them until January 5th, which is day before they opened up. They said they're gonna send out an email, first wave, right? So first wave will get that email on January 6th. I called the dealership on January 5th and saying like, hey, what's up? Like, what should I expect? And basically they said, hey, wait for the email that Ford's gonna send you. So I chilled out for a while. I did not get that email on the first wave. The very first wave, I heard like only a couple people per dealership got that email. So I waited out like 2 more weeks until the next wave, which is today actually. So at 2:58 p.m. today, January 20th, I got an email from Ford. The title is, it's time to order your F-150 Lightning truck. So at 4 p.m. today, January 20th, I went online to check to see if the Pro model was in stock, and it wasn't even an option to click on it. It says completely sold out. So I did call my contact from the dealership and I asked about it, and she actually didn't quite know the process yet, because I didn't know I was the first one to order the truck from that dealership. So she did have to like call me back 10 minutes later to like walk me through some of the process. But at that time I did get an email, so I think maybe her supervisor or someone from the sales triggered something, because I got an email titled confirm your purchase now. And basically I had clicked on it. I had two choices. I could either order online or order through a dealership. So when I clicked dealership, it warned me. So if I click dealership, I will not be able to go back and order it through online. So it's like a one-time thing. So I called the dealership back basically saying like, hey, I want to order through you because I'm probably gonna have to come in anyway to put in my deposit and ask questions. So I basically just dropped everything I was doing and just drove up there at 6 p.m. So here's the interesting part. So usually at a dealership, I haven't been to a dealership, you know, since before the pandemic, but usually when you walk into a dealership, you have all the salespeople, especially if they're not busy, like just like climb each other to get to the person who just walked in. Not the case here. I just walked in, kind of like stood there for a little bit, and no one was coming to me. So I was like, hey, I have an appointment with this person. And actually that person basically handed me to another person who was like also not doing anything, which is cool. Like, I like this trend. So I sat down with this person and built out my truck. It didn't take long because I knew exactly what I wanted, which we'll go over in a second. But here's like a couple key details. So this person did take my license, and I also heard that when they take your license and photocopy it, and if the order does contain my actual photocopy license, it does go in faster. I don't know if that's a myth, but I did hear that, so I did make sure that happened. And as this person was like walking away with my license, the person asked like, hey, how would you be paying for the deposit? And I was like, oh, credit card. So when the rep came back after photocopying it, he goes, hey, good news, we don't have to take in any deposit. I'm like, hold on, time out. Okay, you don't want my money? And I was literally like taken back a little bit because they did not want my money. I was like literally willing to like throw money at them. This is the first time you throw money at a dealership and they don't want to take it. So I did ask, like, why do you not want to take any deposit? Because when I clicked on the link from Ford, it clearly states there dealership is gonna take $500 as a deposit, and the reason for that, the person said, is because some dealerships are taking like $10,000 for a deposit and taking advantage of the customer. Ford decided not to take any deposit. I don't know if that's true or they're making that story up, but that's how it went. So at this point I was like a little bit more cautious. So when they told me the price of the truck, I told them like, can we see the buyer's order sheet? You know, because I wanted to make sure they don't charge like above MSRP. So they gave me this sheet here. This is order summary, but this person insists that this is like buyer's order sheet. So here's what I ordered. So I ordered the F150 Lightning XLT because Pro is out. I didn't add in anything else. It's just standard 311A group. And only thing I added was the tailgate step, which I did not know that you could actually order on top of it without like going up to the next tier. So that was nice to find out. So with standard destination delivery charge of $1,695, the total of MSRP comes to $55,099 for an XLT. Yeah, that's like the same price as my last truck, which was 2017 F150 Lariat with like pretty much like everything loaded. Yeah, so this was up there. So I kept mentioning the word buyer's order sheet. Like I want to see the buyer's order sheet and I want to sign that as the final price, and that person kept saying this is it. So the only thing I could do at that time was basically have him write will be sold at MSRP. He actually wrote that and initialed it. I know this is not a legal document, but at least I know the person and I felt comfortable enough that this was enough. And this next part is kind of hard to admit because I should have known. Like I was just so excited and I'm so hungry. I was trying to get home and eat dinner and I drove home thinking like, oh my goodness, forgot one thing. And the one thing to ask is I forgot to ask about the title, the processing fee, and sometimes I just looked at my last truck order and they actually charged me additional freight. So they could true sell me MSRP, which they also said this could go up. So if Ford raises that MSRP, I could technically pay higher than this. So they did note that, which I guess it's out of their control, but what is in control is their tag fee, processing fee, or anything they could really charge on top of this, which they have to. I mean, the obvious one is tax, but I knew about that. And technically I should have asked that before they put in this orders, because here's one possible scenario. So I put in this order expecting this MSRP. They order the truck with my allocation, right? So they get the truck in the dealership and let's say they charge like $10,000 of processing fee on top of it, because you know that's not covered under this agreement. And at that point, that will basically push me out of the market because that's too much. And what they could end up with is an extra truck allocated to their dealership because they want as many trucks as possible per dealership, I'm thinking. So that's one possible scenario. I know it seems kind of like a little bit negative. What I'm trying to do is cover all aspects of scenarios. If that can prevent a headache, I would love to prevent it now rather than later. And by actually making this video, hopefully I'm helping you guys. So when you guys order this truck, like make sure you ask about the tag fees, processing fee, and the extra freight if there are any. So what I'm gonna do is actually email that sales rep and ask these questions, and I'll either make a new video or I'll comment down below. So I'm very interested in hearing like your experience about ordering this F150 Lightning, because I know it's gonna be so different everywhere, but I think we can probably help each other try to make sure that we don't get cheated out. But considering like how early I am through this dealership, like if everything lines up and they don't try to like upcharge me so much, this is going to happen. So yes, this channel is not like a car channel. So what I'm gonna do with this channel is go through my journey ordering this truck. So I'll try to keep you updated as much as possible, but it's also gonna be like my vlog channel. So if you're interested in following me, yeah, hit that subscribe button because it'll be a tremendous help. So I hope to see you guys in the comment section, and until next time, cheers.